The first time I've danced was when we actually had a pole raising down at our community hall. This was the first time I've ever seen our dance group, the first time I've seen any dance group. I might have been 5. At that time, pretty much the whole community was in the dance group. I've never seen anything like that before. So that's what brought my attention to trying to be part of this. Years later, I actually became part of the pole raising that we just had here at the band office. That was actually pretty cool, that from way back then, just watching and then actually being a part of it. It was pretty cool.
How I get inspired is by working in the canyon. It's always in your mind of our ancestors lived before us. That's how our people were in the past. They worked at their highest level. That's what I'm trying to present to our people, to the community, to our cultural center, is that this is who we are.
I enjoy cedar weaving because it's learning from the past, and I would like to do more of it because I learned the history of Kitselas, what they do with cedar years ago.
Kitselas art is unique in itself, because if you look at the eyes and the nose area of all the masks, you'll see the Tsimshian people in those eyes. Tsimshian are stylized, they're almost realistic, but still stylized in the Northwest Coast style. So I think it's a distinct style, Tsimshian.
You could almost do anything with a cedar once you get to know how to work with them. Each person has a different way of weaving. There's many different ways of weaving.
The first song that we perform anywhere is our paddle song. And the story behind that song is that our people, back in the day when they had to travel by canoe, they would sing this song as they'd be traveling village to village. The paddle song is a good song. It's definitely has a lot of meaning. The really old outfits were a little bit more natural compared to what we use now. Like they used actual bear skins and they actually used the bear hide. Back then it was more hands-on work to get all your stuff done. Because nowadays you have to order everything in order for you to get it. And like 200 years ago, you can't imagine all the work you'd have to get to represent yourself.
My grandmother, she was making baskets, and I love to watch her when she's making baskets. And I used to just sit down beside her and watch her weave. And she'd tell me, sit down and watch. So when you have children, this is how you teach them.
I remember as a kid, my father being one of the people that was helping preserve our last of our totem poles, because they were beginning to deteriorate and fall. And I'm very pleased that they were saved, because some of these poles I was able to learn from as I started learning our Tsimshian style. I went back to our old poles and our old style.
It's very important for the kids to understand where we come from. Growing up, I didn't understand quite a bit of it at the time, and as I got older, I started to really pay attention to how we do things, especially when it comes to the dance group.
I teach my grandchildren and my children what they can do with cedar, so I actually show them how to take it off the tree. After you take it off the tree, you have to take the bark off and get to the middle, which is what you use for making baskets.
Being an artist is a way of life, where you have to do certain things to become an artist. That's what I'm trying to pass on, is the way of life of an artist, and bringing back the old Tsimshian style. Working and producing the art for Kitselas is quite an honor. I've been a professional artist since '87, but I've really enjoyed the last 5 years of being able to work in my community. brought it all back to why I was carving, because it's our culture. The art was for our people. It was our history, not just our history of who we were. It's who we are.
It's a very sacred thing to me because I pray for the day and I pray for the handling of it. I enjoy the quietness and the working with it, and that's what you need when you're working with cedar. It's just cedar alone.
I love it. It's a part of me. If I didn't have that, I don't know what I'd be doing. I'm very proud to do what I do. It's fun. I enjoy it. Lots of stuff to learn still.
May is usually the only time that you could get cedar. It's usually straight and no limbs, and that's where we go harvest it.
The first song that we perform anywhere is our paddle song. And the story behind that song is that our people, back in the day when they had to travel by canoe, they would sing this song as they'd be traveling village to village. The paddle song is a good song. It's definitely has a lot of meaning to it.
Kitselas approached me to start the art for the cultural center. They wanted to start with crests from Menamadik, and that was the grizzly bear and the beaver. In the following year, 4 poles were raised in the canyon, and those are the 4 main Tsimshian crests, and that would be the wolf, the eagle, the raven, and the killer whale. And now the dog salmon to complete the poles for the houses. And where the head I'm working on is the salmon head down here. We still need to add the fins, and the faces have been started, and the man is close to being finished. Originally, the dog salmon pole looks to be about 40 feet. We can sort of tell there's another photos where there's somebody standing beside it, so we sort of estimated it, and it looks like to be about 40. It was commissioned to be alongside the houses, so the poles alongside the houses are at about 16 feet. So I added an extra 3 feet just so the scale can be more to what the pole is. So, but I had to shrink it down a little bit and take elements of the pole to redesign the pole I'm working on. But this is the opal that we're basing our dog salmon from.
And how many feet are you?
When our elders started off, they chose blue as their color. All the girls wear blue, except for our leader. It's kind of almost a duty for her to wear the black and red as being leader. But if she was just to dance, she would wear the blue.